guest calls a secret weapon for those of you who will be missing out on your great run of dividend payments this year. To find out what that is, let's bring in Omar Khan. He is with Freehold Investment Management in Melbourne. Yeah, because Omar, welcome to the program. Thanks for joining us. It has just been so tough out there for investors seeking regular income streams. So what is your brilliant solution for those who still want it?
Hi guys, and thank you for having me on. So we invest in private debt, or within that space, real estate debt, and that's been quite topical of late because of the attractive risk-adjusted returns, and because their loans are typically paid monthly or quarterly to investors. And this opportunity is primarily available to investors because of the large pullback that the banks have had from real estate, and primarily real estate debt. So non-banks like us and our partners can move in, provide debt finance fully secured by the underlying real estate, and provide investors with 7 to 8% per annum paid monthly. That's our target return, and to date we've been generating just over 8.5% per annum paid monthly.
Yeah, sounds good.
Omar, could you give us some insight into the customers? I know a lot of people might be sitting back and saying, well, if the banks aren't willing to go and lend to these customers, why should I go and give money for this? Who are the kind of issuers that you're seeing out there?
Yeah, sure. So it's as your investors or audience would know, it's a pretty broad market. We prefer focusing on the mid-end of the market, which what we call the institutional quality mid-grade or mid-end of the market. A typical deal size is $10 to $70 million. And the developers that we're lending to, many of them have circa 100 million plus of net assets. So quality of the sponsor or the borrower is really important to us. We need to see that they have significant track record, governance, maturity, and depth, which naturally is important for us to be comfortable with our lens. And we try and stay out of the small end. We stay out of the $2 to $7.5 million type lens, where project sizes might be circa 10 million, because we believe that generally speaking, there isn't the sufficient quality or depth, that we would like to focus on.
So Omar, when it comes to what we are seeing through this pandemic, there's obviously some pressure coming through when it comes to residential property, pressure coming through when it comes to commercial property, retail property. Where do you look in this environment for those opportunities, or areas that you would be recommending, you'll just be staying away from?
Yeah, look, I think certainly, I run our private debt fund, and certainly we're seeing significant opportunities again in that space. And what we've observed is that a number of competitors that were there previously aren't there at the moment. So which again means significant opportunity from a pipeline perspective, but also returns perspective. In terms of the broader real estate market, I think retail has probably been facing headwinds for quite some time, and office. I mean, there are clearly some changes and some disruptions taking place in the current period, but where the longer term office market might land is probably a bit of an unknown. Certainly with us, where our capital is placed is with primarily in office with long-term government tenants, and that's been attractive for us as well as our investors. And I think industrial more broadly has probably been quite an attractive place within that space as well. And I think the growth of online and perhaps some of the headwinds we're seeing in retail should be positive for the industrial market.
Omar Khan from Freehold Investment Management, thank you so much for joining us at Ausbiz. Stay safe down there in Melbourne, and we'll speak again soon.
Thanks. Cheers, guys.